Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, another fluid art creation. I'm using a range of paints. I've got very vibrant colour palette today. So, I don't know if you've seen one of my earlier creations. I did a bit of a swipe on the background to blend in some paints. And then I almost did like a dry Dutch pour. So normally when I do a Dutch pour, I have very fluid paint on my canvas. And you don't always need that. So I'm going to show you how to do it this way. I am going to puddle some paints on top of the canvas, but I'm using the same colour palette for the base as I am for the blowout on top. But I'll show you how you can do some contrast and whatever you blow out on top, how it can pop and almost be 3D. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take you down to see my canvas. I'm actually using a black square canvas, and I'll show you all the colours that I'm going to use. I'm so grateful that you're here with me, so let's see what we can create. So here's my canvas. It's a black square canvas, just a standard canvas. And then these are my colours. So I'm using these colours as part of other creations, so I don't want to waste any of my paints. But this is what I'm going to use today. So as you can see, I've got a red, I've got a pink, I've got 3 greens, and also some black. I will list all the ratios, all the colours and all the names of the brands that I'm using today, but they're the colours I'm going to use to create a base, and then I'm going to use the same colours to blow them out with my blow dryer on top. So I'm excited for this. Let's go. So I just want to add some of those colours onto the canvas to start blending in those colours to create a base layer. So I'm just using my palette knife to basically cover that canvas surface area with all of the paint. Now don't worry if it's looking muddy, all those colours are mixing together. But it's about the pattern that we do on top. It's about how we layer those colours, those same colours that you can see here, that I'm just kind of blending in and mixing in all together on the base. It's going to be about how we layer those on top and blow out almost like a tropical flower. What I would say at this point is I don't need the base to be perfect. I'm happy that there's different textures, different lines on there and different parts of those colours shining through. But I do just want to pop any additional air bubbles before I start layering those paints on top. So I'm now going to take one colour at a time and puddle those colours in the centre of the canvas. I'm going to use my blow dryer on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed to blow this puddle of paint that's in the centre out towards the edges, but form almost like a flower shape. So this is now going to be my tropical flower. I'm just going to add in a few finger swipes just to break those different sections up, almost like leaves to that flower, parts of that flower into those sections. And all I'm doing is dipping my finger into the base paint and bringing that browny colour from the base into the flower to give it a little bit more shape. Let me take you in now for a closer look at the wet version. You can still see some of those colours on the base, and then you can see that bright flower that's been blown out on top. I don't know if I'm going to embellish this a little bit more once it's dry. I'm thinking I might add a little bit of gold just around those edges of some of the flower itself. But I'll think about that in a little bit more detail, and I might make another video about how we can embellish our paws even further, even once they're dry. Let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested in something like that. So here's the dry version. I love how vibrant that flower is on top. And although it's a lot darker base, I can still see some of those colours that I originally placed on the canvas and kind of blended in and mixed together with my palette knife shine through. And I think that's what makes this piece really special. I'm still undecided about the gold going around some of the edges. Let me know if you think that would be a good idea. But a big thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I really hope I get to see you again in the next video. I'll carry on with some close-ups, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thanks again, everyone. Take care. Bye.